picking up where we left off in our last video. And if you haven't seen the first video, make sure you pause this one, go check that other video out real quick, and then come back when you're ready. So we have our outline done, and my needle and thread is still connected. So again, if you need to learn how to thread your needle, go to that first video and come back. So my needle is just coming out of here, so it's coming out of the leaf. So that's where I'm going to fill in first. And it's a really small spot, so I'm just going to fill it in to the best of my ability. So I'll show you different methods to fill it in. So I'm coming up the middle. You can use straight lines, and there's going to be gaps. So again, I'm coming out. Where I'm coming out of is just at the very end of that leaf. And again, I picked out my colors before I started. Make sure you know what colors you want to go where, or you can experiment. So for filling in, you're going to follow that same tacking method, except now, instead of picking up 4 each time, depending on what method you're using to fill, you'll have less or more. So I'm just looking at this one right here, and it looks like 3 fills, just like that. So I'm gonna push down. So I'm gonna try and do that. So again, you can tack down every 2 or every 3. Up to you. Since it's so small and it's 3, I'm gonna leave it as it is. I'm coming back to the top here and just filling it in. Now, this is where it could get a little tricky and a little messy. Depending on the size or the shape of your beadwork, it might not fit nicely, and that's okay. As you can see, it's shifting my middle row over, and I don't mind that. It looks like it could fit one more. Just like that. And of course, guys, I'm learning too. I'm still learning, but the more that we bead, the more mistakes or little challenges we meet, the better we'll get. So to me, honestly, that fills my leaf. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna tie a knot real quick. Again, to tie knots, check out that first video. For the next step, I think what I'm gonna do, instead of doing the straight lines that I did for my leaf, I think I wanna do a circle. So follow a circle inside my rosehip. And that's a little bit more difficult, but the more that I practice, the better I'll get at it. So again, I'm gonna start at the top. I'm just coming up near the end. So I'm just coming out of right there and pull. Again, watch out for bubbles at the bottom. You can see that there's a little bit of a catch. Just pull all the way. Now, I want to pick this color up. I think I'll work with 6. So there's 6 beads on my thread, or my needle, sorry. And then pull it all the way to the end. Now I'm going to line it around my odd shape. Now, when you're filling in your simple shape with following the circle shape, you can start from the center and then build out, or you can start from the inside and work your way in. I'm just more comfortable working from the outside in because I don't know where the middle is. But I guess that would kind of have a fun look to it, but I'm doing what I feel is comfortable, and you should do the same. So all I'm doing is kind of holding it where I'm hoping it will be. My bead ends right there. Just want to push through. Just like that. Again, you can see that it's kind of moving around, so I'm going to hold it where I want it to be. I'm going to start tacking it in place. And just go nice and slow. So this one, I'm going to do every 2, because when you're going around curves, it's just easier to do it that way. And of course, I'm accepting however this turns out. I'm not aiming for perfection, and that's fine with me. I'm just having fun with you guys. So, if your artwork doesn't turn out as beautiful as you hoped, don't worry. You're learning. I'm learning. Even though I've been beading for some time, I'm still learning. And we never stop learning, really. So, that's how it looks. So, I'm gonna go back to this first one. See, I'm coming up right beside that first one right here. Not through it, just right beside it. Pull all the way. Push through that last bead. Pull. And then keep going. Pick up 6 more. I just really love rose hips. I've been wanting to bead a rose hip for some time. Rose hips in the spring. So in the springtime, they're pink. They grow on bushes, and they look like wild roses. And they are wild roses. I think because I come up to a point here, I might just take these last 2 off and go through and then continue. Yeah, let's do that. I think I like that. But they're wild roses, they're pink, and then through the summer they start to develop or mature into these rose hips, these berries. So I think I lied. I'm gonna just do a complete circle. So again, continuing where we left off, we're gonna come through here, this bead right here. Oh, make sure you keep checking your thread. My thread today is deciding that it wants to curl. And if you have a problem with that, your thread always curling no matter what, you can get wax to run along here so it goes through smoothly, but up to you. Okay, let's keep going. Three. Just like that. And then keep wrapping it where you want it to go. So as I was saying, rose hips, they are these little berries. They're delicious. They say they're very full of vitamin C. So if you eat 3 to 4 berries, they say, again, don't quote me, that it's equal to about 1 orange in vitamin C. So anyone who knows that knowledge, you can correct me. I totally don't mind. But that's what I've heard. And just keep tacking. My thread just keeps wanting to curl, but just gotta have just patience. Having patience is key. And then also, taking a break when you need a break is key. Don't force yourself to keep going. That's just how you get frustrated. Okay, let's finish off the circle. Let's try 4. I doubt I'm gonna need that much. So, what we want to do is just connect. So, looks like I just need 2. So I'm gonna take this extra off. And again, to make it a complete circle, I'm just gonna go through this last bead and push through. Pull all the way through. Just like that. Let's tie our knot. So again, holding to my fingers, just like this. Wrap it around my fingers. Pull through that loop I created. Hold here. hope for the best. Just like that. We'll do one more. There we go. Now let's keep going and filling that in. All right, now the only thing left to do is fill in the center. So for this, we are gonna find the center and we're gonna see how many that takes to fill. So let's start with one. That might look like it would do it. So let the bead fall to the end. It looks like that. There's a little bit of a gap, so I'm curious to see if there's one more that can fit. Might be pushing it though. It looks okay. Let's try that. And pull. Perfect. So there's one filled. Let's do the same to the other side. So this is our completed project. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Of course, it could be better, but I'm still learning, you're still learning. But if anyone knew what rose hips look like, you're like, that's a rose hip. So the next step I'm going to show you, of course, I'm going to tie one more knot, and then we'll cut off our needle. You can add as much or as little beadwork as you'd like. I'm only going to do this much because I'm pretty content with how it looks. So what you're going to do first is cut off the thread. So this thread that's holding on the paper, we don't need that anymore. Just pull it. So now the last thing to do is pull off the paper. So very carefully start ripping it off. Just like that. Slowly ripping it off. So here I have 2 beads, so I'm going to hold onto my beads and pull. So it should look like this. So now what you're going to do to get the rest of it is just get as much as that extra that you can off. You can use your scissors. Make sure not to catch your beadwork. If that's still a little tough to get off, what I like to do is I like to take my needle and thread and just pull. So this one, this part you don't want to go too fast because you want your beadwork to stay relatively intact. Just keep going. All I'm doing is going underneath the paper and pulling up. Just so I can have enough of a lip that I can pull it off with my finger. Other ways I've seen it done is people take tweezers, if you have them around the house, just to get those little harder to reach spots. But I'm just going to go patiently. So this is my completed project. I hope you guys had fun and learned something new. Please share with us your projects. And of course, if you want to continue learning how to bead certain projects, check out our Facebook page or reach out to the friends around you who do know how to bead. The more that you practice, the better you'll get. I'm still learning, so I hope you guys had fun learning with me. Have a great week. Wistas.